eyes, open your ears real wide and say, "Give it to me straight, doctor, I can take it."
Kick the chocks out from under the wheels. Flaps up. No offense, Margaret. Contact. We're off. Brum, brum.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
Oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.
The doctor is in, everybody. Good morning. I say everybody. I think there's two of us here. Good morning, Black Hat. Good to see you. So, been working this morning early. And when you work alone, particularly on creative projects of your own making, you're alone with your thoughts. Like, I've worked for myself all my working life, almost all of it, as a counselor. But as I'm doing that, I'm working with the client. I'm applying my training, my theory, my experience to the situation. It's different when you're back here drawing or painting, whichever. Your thoughts are there and you're alone with your thoughts. Now, I was thinking this morning, it's inevitable that artists will level up as they continue to work. I mean, it just happens. The more you do, the more you can do. And that's a blessing and a curse. Everybody likes to get better, me included. But then you look back at even your recent work, and it's like, God dang, man, what was I thinking? You'll fall into the trap of, I need to go back and redraw everything I've done. So then let's say you do that. You go back and you redraw everything you've done up to this point. Well, by the time you get done doing that, you're going to level up again, and it's a vicious cycle. You're going to get caught up in it. So you just have to accept that that's where you were then. This is where you are now, and you got to move forward. And as I was working on A Damn Dirty Thing, really enjoying doing this book. I love noir. I love the lighting, the dynamics, the camera angles are different. Versus Pariah, which I also love, is very different. Pariah is shot, pardon the phraseology there, more like a traditional graphic novel. But it begins to, particularly in book 2, Sanctum of Hate, it has a heavier noir touch. And so I felt like it was important both for the story and for the art to not only do A Damn Dirty Thing, but release it before I move into book 2 of Pariah, which is largely done. The pages are over there. There's some I'm going to redraw. There's some edits that have to happen. So it won't be long, hopefully, after A Damn Dirty Thing goes into fulfillment, that I launch the campaign for Sanctum of Hate. The other drawback to that is there's so many projects you want to do, but there's only so much time in the day. You've got stories you want to tell. Oh yeah, it happens to all of us, buddy. Now with my paintings, I've been at it'll sound immodest to say it, but to try to sugarcoat it will be false bragging. So I'll just say I've been a master painter for decades. I've reached a certain level and I know that work is good. And the painting does not leave my easel until it's where I want it to be, or it goes into the boo-boo pile, which is under Dr. Doom over there. That's the boo-boo pile. And once a year, the boo-boo pile gets treated to the bonfire in the backyard. Those paintings never leave to be seen by the public, ever. But it falls under the heading of they can't all be winners. They can't all be winners. But what you do hope in sequential art is that you don't have so many stinkers that you have more stinkers than winners. Good morning, Carrie. Good to see you. We are well. How are you? Hope you're doing well today. So yeah, you know, the storytelling is consistent. I feel like I'm a good storyteller. I can write. And, you know, writers are at a disadvantage to visual artists. You know, visual artists can come on a stream and go, oh, look at my art. And everybody goes, that's good. Or they go, ooh, that sucks. A writer can't do that. You know, you actually have to read something the writer wrote. And that takes an investment of your time, imagination, and energy. Let me dump this. But if you've written enough stuff and you've written long enough, you've gotten enough feedback from people who know what the hell they're talking about, then you will know whether or not you, in fact, can write. And I've written and gotten that feedback. Yeah, you paint over the wonky parts. Usually the way I work on a painting is I just keep working the painting till it's right. But occasionally I run across what I call a cursed canvas. Nothing I do on this canvas is ever going to work. So it's easier just to throw it in the boo-boo pile, grab a fresh canvas, and just start fresh. For me, that's the way I work. Now, also as a painter, keep in mind, I'm primarily a plein air painter. That means I go out into nature and I paint what I see in front of me. Occasionally bring them back in the studio and tweak them. Now, in the winter months, I will stay in the studio and paint from photographs that I took during the spring and summer. But they're my photos. So that's the way I work. Let's see what this says. Waiting to hear back from a couple of people this morning on some stuff. And I am not the most tech-friendly guy in the world. So even navigating back and forth between windows can be challenging for me. So like, let me give you an example of where writing can kind of, you know, I wrote A Damn Dirty Thing fully, scripted it panel by panel. And then Anthony changed the book length, on me. And I'm like, okay, that's not a problem. You know, that gives me the opportunity to flesh out a couple of scenes. We made it longer. And so I'm doing that and I'm happy with it. And I'm cruising along drawing it. And just all of a sudden I went, oh shit. I've got a big ass plot hole here that I didn't even see. And no one else had picked up on it yet either, the people that are in on the story. And so I kind of had a panic moment. And I reached out to a writer friend of mine, Max DeVille, over at Atrocity Press. He was busy at the moment, couldn't take my call. So over the next, several hours, my brain just went, and I got it. I figured out how to fix the plot hole. Well, he called me, faithful friend that he is. He called me the next morning, first thing. Dude, I'm sorry about last night. How can I help? Blah, blah, blah. And I shared what the plot hole was with him and what my fix was. And he went, yeah, that works. So, you know, you never know. It never hurts to get an extra set of eyes on your work if you're contemplating making a book or writing a book. If you don't have an editor you should get one. But if you're not going to use an editor, at least get somebody to at least read your stuff and perhaps point out to you what they see as issues with your project. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not an admission of a weakness or a lack of talent on your part. So also, there's this. Everybody, every day of their lives, will make 100 decisions a day. Little ones, big ones. There are decisions you make on impulse. There are decisions you make reflexively. And then there are those decisions you have to make that navigate your life toward where you want to be. These are deliberate, conscious, thought out decisions that you have to make. The more emotion that you attach to your decision-making process, the more likely a bad outcome. We cannot, or I should say it is not always wise, to rely on your emotions to guide you through the major decisions you're making in your career, in your relationships, in your life. People go, relationships? That's all about feeling. No, it's not. Let me break that down real quick. I would get couples coming in for counseling, and I would hear most frequently, I'm just not in love anymore. And I would say, well, what does that mean? It would always boil down to, I don't feel the same way I felt about this person. Do you feel the same way today that you do about the shoes you wore back then? What your favorite TV show was? Point being, feelings change over time. Relationships are about commitment, a decision to act in a certain way with commitment, resolved for good times, bad times, either one. If it's just a good time thing, you're not really talking about love or a relationship. You're talking about attraction and convenience. And that's cool. If that's the way you want to lead your life, you do that. But you will not have long-term meaningful relationships, or not many of them. So having said that, that applies to work relationships, that applies to career choices, that applies to where am I going to live? How am I going to work? How am I going to eat? How do I feed myself? You know, the big things in your life. What is my relationship like with my kids, with my mom and dad, with my siblings, with my significant other? A large part of how those relationships are based on our own decisions of how we are going to interact. Give you an example. I had a client come see me. They were having issues with their sibling. They only have one sibling and their mother. And this individual painted a horror show for me of how these people treated her and how she would in turn interact with them. And she said, and this stuck with me, the fact that she is a bad mother should not make me a bad daughter. I thought, that's pretty profound. She was choosing how she was going to interact. Now, the problem was, of course, that she thought being a good daughter meant participating in the dystopia of that situation. And it wasn't. There were better ways, and she found them. But you can't get married to bad ideas. Okay? Hear that. Marriage, commitment, long haul, till death do us part. You cannot get married to bad ideas. Can't get married to bad decisions. Just like in a relationship, you hook up with this person and you think, oh, this is great. And the person turns out to be horrible. We've all either been in this relationship or we know someone who has. And they just keep hanging in there in spite of the fact that it's terrible and everybody can see it's terrible. It's the same thing with your ideas and your decisions, even your projects. If you latch on to something and at first it's, ooh, it's great, but then it consistently remains bad.
Did you feed her?
No. Then you were subjecting yourself to misery. And there's no reason to do that. I forgot to feed the puppy. I always feed the puppy. My wife just called me out on it. I'm busted. So yeah. So what do? Well, you have to learn how to evaluate. And let's say it's not an abusive relationship or a disastrous situation or project, whatever it may be, but it's just not the best thing for you. That doesn't mean you have to enter into hate mode with the other person or the project. It just means move to something else. Move on. Because enough is enough. I hope that makes sense. We'll see. Let me see what this is about. Twitter has been acting strange lately in the DM groups. Hey, Billy, good morning. Just got off work. Well, I hope you had a good night at work. Billy wants to know if that's you, Carrie. Billy's always making sure reality is, in fact, reality. So we had a big old thunder boomer roll through here last night, and it kind of cooled everything off, and that's a good thing. That was a little housekeeping taken care of there. I hope I did all that right. So yeah, if you're out there, by the way, and you're struggling with decisions, maybe you don't trust what is going on, Billy. You don't trust the decision you're currently making, or you don't more broadly trust your decision making. Then find someone you do trust, someone who seems to at least have it together a little bit, and talk to them. You know, you can't be an island unto yourself. And by the way, that's one of my biggest problems. So, I'm not being a hypocrite. I acknowledge that problem myself. I don't typically trust other people's advice. As a matter of fact, one of my college professors had a saying, never give advice. The wise don't need it and a fool won't heed it. And, largely that's true. I'm a little stir crazy when I've been up for a long period of time. Hell yeah. I start bouncing off the walls if I'm cooped up in the house too long, but then I leave and all I want to do is go back home. It's like, I don't want to be out. I don't want to be in. What do I want to do? Most of the time, hey, you guys want to see an image that I've been working on? Need more than one person to say yes. Or I'll just wait and show it later. Yeah, nobody will ever have your best interest at heart more than you do. Unless you're self-destructive, then everybody's has your best interest at heart more than you do. But yeah, there's Carrie. And she says, yes, she would like to see it. I'll show it. So what I'm doing, by the way, I will soon be able to work digitally, but I'm not going to create the work digitally. I will just use it for editing purposes and lettering. So I've already done a page where the main character, Jake Bishop, busts through a window going after somebody, but I didn't like the foreground image. The background was great. The shattered window, the curtains flying. So I redrew him jumping through the window, and I will digitally paste him in there. So that's kind of what I worked on yesterday. So here we go. We got him busting through the window, and I would just digitally scan this and drop him on top of the busted window. And then I need several shots of him just beating up some of the thugs. So I've got a bunch of these laying around, and what I'll do is just be able to cut these out and paste them in. The people in between wise and foolish might be open to advice. Yeah. I'm not a Daniel Bryan fan. I don't know who that is. You'll have to illuminate that for me. If you're fortunate, you find people that want to be a part of something you're building or have built. Yeah, exactly. You know, everybody needs a support network. No matter what you're doing in life, you need, you know, that's what friends are. You know, friends are people who want the best for you and will do what they can to help you along the path, and you reciprocate that. Those are friends. Well, thank you, Carrie. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Black Hat. So yeah, I'm filling up some pages with just different, and then I can pick and choose and put together. There's a 2-page fight. Oh, Daniel Bryan was a WD wrestler, now an AEW wrestler. My son is a professional wrestler, but I know nothing about that world. I watched wrestling when I was young. I watched the old NWA with Mr. Wrestling #2, Junkyard Dog, Dusty Rhodes, Tommy Wildfire Rich, the Fabulous Freebirds, all those guys. Way back in there. Tony Atlas was another. Andre the Giant was in it. I watched it back then, and I could never understand, by the way. Keep in mind, young. I thought the shit was real. And I could never understand, like, the world champion, the heavyweight championship belt got, you know, somebody won it. And it never made it onto the nightly news with the sports. They'd have the football and basketball and baseball on there, but nothing about it. I'm like, why don't they cover this? I've had a bunch of people tell me to F off before. I found people who have helped me out. I'm not like, yeah, always. You keep pushing forward. Yeah. And I don't know about you, Black Hat, but, you know, you and I are of an age. I thought the shit was real. I mean, you know, I even went to the Omni in Atlanta and I saw big night. It was the headline fight was Mr. Wrestling #2 versus Dick Slater, Dirty Dick Slater. And, you know, he tried to get Mr. Wrestling #2's mask off. And I freaked out. You can't take that mask off? Oh my God, that would be the end of the world. For a while there, my brother and I were convinced that Mr. Wrestling #2 was our daddy. Dude wore a mask. Well, he was built like my dad. He talked like my dad, had a big old nose like my dad. And I thought, you know, Dad's never here when this is happening. Not realizing they had filmed this shit at a different time. So we were just convinced for a little while there that was our dad. I mean, he even had the bionic knee was his finishing move, a knee lift. And my dad had a surgically repaired knee. So we thought, that's him. It's got to be him. Now, he's passed away now, Black Hat, but have you seen, he's unmasked, it's on YouTube. He does an interview about his time in the NWA and his friendship with Gordon Soley and all that good stuff. And by the way, Mr. Wrestling #1 and Mr. Wrestling #2 did tag team together a few times, but they weren't always, and I can never understand, why aren't they out there as a team all the time? You know, I don't understand, why aren't they best friends? Because basically, professional wrestling back then was like comic books. These were the superheroes fighting each other. And my understanding is over time, it became kind of like more like a soap opera with wrestling, you know, as the thing. Either way, you know, it's content. Now, my son grew up on this stuff. I absolutely loved it, bought into all of it, was convinced it was real. I called him up one time, and I was imitating Stone Cold Steve Austin and told him he had to clean his room. And my son just believed it. Oh, he believed it. And he grew up loving it. He went to several shows. And then as an adult, he is a pro wrestler. He's in the little indie leagues. But he's been on that show, Heels, on Stars Network, about the professional wrestlers in the small circuit TV show. He was on there as an extra and a consultant. But he left it because they wouldn't credit him. In other words, they were coming and they were asking questions, and my son and my nephew are a tag team. And they were telling the producers, well, this is how we communicate with each other in the ring about what's going to happen when we're freestyling. Here's what the skull sessions backstage look like, you know. And they were taking all this and using it, but they didn't credit him with it. So he was like, I'm out. I want to be exploited. There it is. I was looking for my cold beverage, my Dr. Fago. So, moving on. Oppenheimer. This movie coming out. It's the first movie I've seen in a minute that looks like it was good. So, I'm not going to go to the theaters to see it, but it's on my watch list to see when it is released on streaming. My mom's dad wrestled as Stump Puller and the Red Shadow. I think that name got used by more than one, but I gave those two names to two of my characters. Oh, nice. So are you doing a book, Black Hat? You want to tell me about it? I would love to hear about it. Yeah, and this was the thing. When I decided to return to comics, for those who don't know, I did comics in the 90s. Just in the small press, but you know, I did a lot of work, and you know, got away from it. Carry the berry, the forbidden fruit. Stop it, Billy. And when I decided to get back in it, I thought, you know, I had created this whole superhero universe. How the origins of how do superheroes come into existence? I had a unifying theory for that. I have trademarked and copyrighted material, several characters, dozens. I've been up for way too many hours. And then I decided to do a book here, last year? And I have now done it. It's funded. It's in production right now. Over 50% done on the lettering and the edits, cleaning up. So we're hoping to have it in print here very shortly. Anyway, I didn't do a superhero book. I went with the Pariah story, just a supernatural revenge story. And the whole story just came to me. And I've written it out. And it's long. Yeah, the book is writing me. The characters do take on a life of their own. Like Elizabeth, the main character, has become something different from what I created her as. And that's cool. Let them. And then the noir book, because I love noir so much. So, I mean, superheroes was my first love, but I don't have any desire to push a superhero book to the front burner right now. Got some on the back burner. Maybe your book is right. Your book, Contemporary, the news every day is writing your book for you. All the bad guys you'll ever need, they already exist. But yeah, the superhero thing is not on the front burner. I might do one sooner or later. But after the Pariah wraps up, thinking I want to do some more of the noir stuff. I mean, I feel like that's really going to be my niche. Let me bring out a friend here. Good morning. Good morning, Max. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. Just chilling this morning. Yeah. You know, my primary talking point this morning was that leveling up in your artistic abilities is both a blessing and a curse.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you get that.
Yeah. 100%. Because, I mean, not only will you first begin to look at your older work and be like, man, I'm not that good.
Yeah.
And then there's also,
I mean, you're aware that you're better.
yeah, you're aware that you're better. I mean, and that could have a different effect on different people. It could get you a big head. It could get you,
Or the opposite.
yeah, or it could destroy you. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with art is it's just
Yeah.
so many different ways of people experiencing it that you never know what people are going to get out of it. Even the artists themselves.
Yeah. I was looking at my work on Pariah, and I've redrawn several panels. Like, Anthony and I were lettering this thing and editing, and I would see a panel and go, "No, that is not going out the door. Let me redraw that. I'll send it to you." And but then you look at some of it, and you go, "All right, that's okay. Oh, that one's good." But then, as a body of work, you look at it and go, I'm way better than this now. Can I just go back and redraw the whole book? And even if you did, by the time you got done, you would have
you'd have been loaded up again, and it would have been all different and bad bad.
Yeah, exactly. So it's an endless loop. Let me see. Black Cat says, I have one illustrated novel published in 2011 and 2016. I put out my first comic at roughly the same time, but I'm going to redo and retitle it. I put out a horror comic 2016 and some Ash Can stuff. I would love to see some of that. Are you on Twitter, Black Cat? If you are, drop your handle. I'll follow you, and we can kind of look at that stuff together. That's awesome. Let me look at that again. Horror comic, illustrated novel. That's and some Ash Can. I would love to hear more about it. Yep. Billy's going to take his strange story to an even stranger place. Look, if your characters, whoa, lost Max. I think he killed himself. There he is.
There's a button next to my right control button on my new keyboard. It's like a little macro. It refreshes the screen.
Oh, whoops.
So every time I ash my cigarette, I hit that stupid button.
Yeah, I thought you had just, the bomb hit out there in Missouri instead of here in Georgia. They got him. Yeah, if your characters don't take on their own life and get bizarre on you sometimes, you're not writing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you, your characters will take on a life of their own.
And, and don't be afraid to explore that. Because, like, in Mary Machine Gun, she waterboards somebody with holy water. So...
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
So, and then while she's doing it, she's like, am I becoming a bad person?
That priest, whoever blessed that water, was working overtime because that's gallons of water. It's not a sprinkle.
Well, she grabbed the big sensor from the door, and you go to a Catholic church, they got the big bowl right there at the door.
Yep.
Yep.
That is she waterboards somebody with holy water. Yes.
I was going to use bleach at first, but then I figured that he wouldn't be able to talk afterwards, so we should probably just use something special.
Yeah, the holy water is a much better choice than bleach, bro.
Yeah.
Much better.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's, your brain just comes up with these things, Max. Here's a weird thought. Oh, that's a good weird thought, though. We're using that. Hey, good morning, my friend Shadowhawk. Very good to see you. You go back to bed. I was up early and I actually watched a little bit of Ethan's drawstring, but he wasn't drawing, so I stopped watching. Well, I should say he was drawing, but it was EFAPing Liam, and that doesn't interest me. But I did wait for him to go off before I decided to go live, so no one would feel pulled in more than one direction.
Yeah. I haven't seen an Ethan stream in a long time. So I was streaming at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I'm asleep. Yep.
So how's the damn dirty thing coming along?
Oh, I was just sharing some of that because I'm going to be able to. I'm never going to make my book digitally, but I can now edit digitally, or at least I will be here soon. I got the computer upgraded, and Anthony sending me his old drawing tablet. Not good for drawing, but great for editing. Mm-hmm. So I had done a page that had our main character, Jake Bishop, busting through a window to go after somebody. And try that in a small town. Mm-hmm. And the window looked good and all that stuff, but I didn't like the jumping post. So I thought, well, hell, I can just redraw all this stuff and cut and paste it. So I redrew the leaping through the window.
Well, there you go.
And I like that much better. Mm-hmm. I thought, well, I'll just do a bunch of action shots of him beating up the thugs.
Yeah.
And then I can just pick and choose what I want.
Hell yeah.
And build a dynamic page that way.
Felt like I was on CNN there for a second.
I would never go on a CNN. They would call me unkind words.
Yeah. CNN's a little flaky.
A little sketch.
They're not as bad as MSNBC, but
no. And honestly, they're not as bad as they used to be. They kind of they pull back a little bit, you know.
I think that CNN and Fox News got together and were like, all right, shit's getting crazy. We need to get rid of some of these people.
Yeah, they call the house Don Lemon and the ball.
We'll get rid of Don Lemon and this guy and this guy and this guy. You guys get rid of Tucker Carlson.
Yeah. Like baseball preseason. Hit me up, Billy. Hit me up. You're traveling this way a good little bit. You got some folks around here in the area. Billy lives about an hour southeast of me.
Okay.
And yeah, it'd be cool to hang out a little bit. I would be down for it. Turn my little fan on because it's heating up some.
Starting to get spicy, is it already?
Yeah. Normally it would be unbearable by now, but we had a big thunderstorm roll through here last night and it cooled everything down just a little bit. Like it was 68 when I woke up. That's wonderful.
Damn, that's nice.
Yeah, had been 68 in the morning for a minute. And I'm not, by the way, one of those people that no matter what season it is, they long for the opposite of it.
Yeah.
No, I always wanted to be spring and summer.
Yep.
I hate winter. So, no, I'm not looking. Oh, aren't you going to be glad when it cools off? No, because it just keeps getting colder and colder. I can't get into my Instagram, Billy. You need to hook me up on or hit me up on Twitter or Facebook. I have an Instagram, but I haven't been on it in well over a year because I don't remember the password and it never works for me to try to get in there. But I will try. Hell, I'll try right now. By the way, to sign up for a damn dirty thing is in the description. If you haven't signed up, go over there and sign up. Let me see if I can get into my Instagram. Phone number and username. Well, now let me just log in with Facebook and try that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's that. No, I don't want that. Go away.
I'm tired.
How are you? Are you getting up early or are you up late?
No, I'm getting up. I mean, it's not early or anything. I'm just getting up, but I was up late.
I hear you. What were you doing?
Larry was playing Tekken 8. It's a fighting game that he was part of the beta test for. So he was playing that and I was watching it.
See, it won't let me in. I input my name and my email and it says another account is using that same email. And I know that's me and it's just not recognizing it. It will not let me in. Oh, well, then I will absolutely follow you back, my friend. Let me look at that again. You said
she'll be right back.
Okay. Timescape fantasy. All right, Max. All right, buddy. I am now following you right back. And the first thing I see is your 14-year-old picture. Oh. Oh. Oh, you got a YouTube channel too? I will share your YouTube channel with me, bro. I will subscribe. Yeah, I'll probably create a new one, Billy. That's a good thought. At C. Richard Stop. That's your YouTube. Let me go look. Shit, wrong window. Where do I put that in? The at C. Do I put that in the YouTube search window? At C underscore, all one word. Nope. It ain't finding you, bro. Like, go to your channel and drop the link into the chat. I think I gave you a wrench. You should be able to do that. Make sure I have that on point. Yep. Okay. Black Cat Cinephile. All right, I got you.
I'm just coming off a Vicodin prescription. And you know what opiates do to your bowels.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then when that's not there anymore.
Yep. I feel your pain, bro. I fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, I can't take opiates. I'm allergic to sulfur.
Mm-hmm.
Even the ones that aren't sulfur based, they give me like restless leg, but from head to toe.
Wow.
Like I got shot up with some Nimerol and Statal one time. I got up and walked out of the ER. Just I mean, you're doped out of your mind, so they had to bring me back in, you know. But
yeah.
Like, never again, never. So I don't do opiates.
They gave it to me after my last couple stints in the hospital.
Right.
So, and I'm just finished the last little bit of it yesterday. Well, not yesterday. I'd say about 2 days ago. So, I'm in the day 2 of 3-day
detoxing
off of it.
Yeah, that's rough, man. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I know it's rough. Oh man, I worked with every kind of addiction there is in my counseling practice, including opiate addiction, and that was some bad stuff. It's seriously bad, hard to get off of.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so easily to get.
Right. People say that, and I know that it's true, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the doctors I use. Like when I was having my PTSD was really bad, and my Paxil wasn't working well enough on it. I said, "Look, give me some Ativan, give me some lorazepam, benzodiazepam. Get on top of this so I can sleep." They're like, "No, I don't want to do that." Is that what you got?
Diazepam.
Yep. They were like, "Oh, I don't want to prescribe that." I'm like, I know like 100 people that just go to their regular doctor and go, "Hey, can I have some Ativan?" They go, "Sure."
I feel a little anxiety, doc. Can I get some Xanax? Yeah, here, I have a whole fucking bar.
Yeah. But it doesn't work that way for me. So I have them, but I use them only for emergencies.
Yeah.
And by emergency, I mean like if the PTSD gets really bad. All right, Billy, go get your head down and get some rest, brother. If the PTSD gets really bad, or if I have gone without sleep enough to where it's beginning to impair function, I'll take one, knockout.
Yeah. And
that works, But I do not. It's prescribed to take one every day at bedtime. I don't do that. I do not take them every day. I can't risk abuse or dependence because my dad was a hardcore pill addict. So I'm the opposite. I don't go that way. Your cats are cute. They're playing.
It's kind of the way I am with alcohol because my mom is pretty much a pretty heavy alcoholic.
So you avoid it?
I mean, I used to drink a lot when I was younger, but I used to promote concerts and put on shows and everything. And when you could start working in a bar and not drink while you're at the bar, you're pretty much alcohol is pretty much broken its spell over you.
Yeah, you're good.
But when I was running shows, I didn't want to drink because I was handling money.
Right, exactly. Did I ever tell you? I have a related story to that. When I was playing in my band, we played this field party, and they were charging X amount per car, and then that would include up to 4 people, but the 5th person had to pay, extra.
Yeah.
And this field was packed as far as the eye could see. I mean, just a ocean of cars. I'm like, hell yeah, this is going to be a payday. Well, I didn't book this show. My drummer did. So after the show, we all told our drummer, "We'll go collect, man, and let's suck up and get out of here." He came back and gave me a $5 bill. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And he goes, "Dude at the gate got drunk and just let everybody in." Dude, I was so pissed off.
Hell yeah.
Now we made up for it. We had CDs out. We sold a few
Yeah.
$100 worth of CDs and T-shirts. But geez, man, that
Whenever we had field parties, we didn't charge by the carload. We charged by the cup.
Yeah.
You buy a cup for $4 or $5.
Yeah. Well, this was a BYOB. It wasn't our venue. The opening band that opened for us, they knew that they couldn't draw a big crowd, and we were fairly popular. We could. So, it was kind of a last minute thing. Like the show was on a Saturday night. They asked us Thursday.
I was going to say, show was on a Thursday.
And it was nice though, man. We had a couple of flatbeds pulled together for the stage, and
that's pretty good stuff. I like doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it was good. And we're a metal band. We're kind of like Queensryche, and we get up on the stage without fail. Some redneck goes, "Play Freebird." Son of a bitch, we're not going to play Freebird. Get out of here. Get out of here with that.
So our guitarist learned Freebird, and every time someone would be like, "Freebird," he just start playing Freebird, and the rest of the band would just take a break. And we would fucking sit there and make them listen to his rendition of Freebird on his guitar until it was fucking done.
The music on my Pariah trailer, the thrash, the lead singer of that band was Troy Borlow. He's passed away now. But they got that one time at a show. So it was Freebird. And Troy was fearless. He said, "We've had a request from the audience for Freebird for some fucking reason. And this fat redneck motherfucker on the front row is going to come up here and sing it for you." And he just dropped the microphone. The whole band walked off and took a break. They threw that dude out of the party. You're lucky you didn't get your ass beat. These rednecks, they don't play around about their Freebird, baby.
No, they don't. I mean, that's like Pantera. The people screaming Pantera is now the new Freebird.
Yeah. Yep.
There's always that drunk guy at the concert that's like, Pantera!
Yep.
Doesn't matter where you're at. You could be at a fucking Dave Matthews Band concert. And
we would get Freebird and Zepp. They wanted you to play Zepp. So we had learned a few Zepp songs as a band. I already knew a few on my own. But we would do Heartbreaker. We never did Stairway to Heaven because fuck that.
Yeah.
I forget the other ones, but
Immigrant Song, man.
Oh yeah, we did Immigrant Song. Blackhead says, "I heard Skinner was jamming and your bird can sing after a night of drinking and smoking and other things. It had transformed into Freebird." Oh, okay. Right on. And now, there's nothing wrong with the song Freebird. But if you're a metal band, you're not Southern rock. It's not part of your set list.
It is not what you practice
Yeah.
for fucking 3, 4, 5 months before a show.
Right. And there was well, no, I'll say this though. I think one of the funniest songs ever written was "Give Me 3 Steps" by Skinner. I freaking love that song. I have never played it in a band though, because there's just not a way to metalize it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, you can put power chords, but it's just not a metal song.
It's not like Street Fighting Man.
Yeah, in a metal song, you would screw the girl in front of her pissed off husband. Not run out the door saying, "Give me 3 steps." Oh man.
Metal band. It was I remember the band Manowar had had an album.
Power Trio.
Yep. They're fucking awesome band. Love them. Yeah. They started the power metal and black metal. They're the godfathers of that shit.
Yeah, they're the granddaddies of thrash.
But we saw them actually live There was a show they put on here in Kansas City. It was like, cause they were driving from Denver, from Detroit to Dallas. They stopped in Kansas City and just put on a surprise show. Only like 26 people showed up because no one knew about the show. And it was fantastic being able to stand there and watch like dudes that I just was loved at the time.
Did they do the fur loincloths and all that shit?
No, they were just, it was basically, the set was basically Man-O-War just practicing.
Right.
And they're having a good time and doing shit. And Eric Adams even handed me the microphone for 2 songs.
Nice.
Because I was singing the whole, I mean, I used to know all the lyrics to all the songs and everything. And he like saw that and he just kind of like, he was like, I was like, all right, fuck, I'm going to sing with Man-O-War.
That's very cool. Speaking of that exact same kind of thing, did you see that pop-up show Van Halen did in Dallas?
No.
They did a pop-up show free of charge in Dallas. And no set list. They just came out and played whatever, you know.
Yeah.
They would just say, hey, let's do this one. Let's do that. One of the best shows I've ever seen. And I wasn't there, but it's on YouTube now. And it was free. You know, you can just, could you imagine? Yeah. This is when they had Sammy Hagar. It was the 5150 tour. So, you know, this is when they were at their biggest they've ever been.
That'd be awesome.
And I'm not saying, you know, for you David Lee Roth lovers, I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying this when they were bigger. They had more #1 hits. They were really riding the wave. Yeah, it would have been awesome to be there.
Yeah, because we went to, when I lived in Gainesville, Florida, there was this bar called the Razorback, and it was like, it's this shitty dive bar with a stage, right?
Right.
And we're in there just drinking, having a good time, and these guys are at a table and they're drinking and they're having a good time and everyone's having a good time. And then the guys from the fucking table that are also drinking, they're like, let's get up, hold on. And they go out and they come waddling in with like their guitars and shit like that. And they already had a drum set up and everything. And we got to listen to Tool play an impromptu set.
Oh, check that out.
Drunk as hell. It was pretty interesting. I mean, we had no idea who they were at the time.
Right.
Because it was back during their, what was the name of that first fucking album?
I don't remember.
Opiate.
Yeah.
It was during their Opiate album tour.
Yeah.
And
we played a rock festival in Savannah. And when you play rock festivals, boys and girls, you don't have any idea who else is on the ticket. You have no idea. And so we're setting up, and there's some old hippies setting up. We thought the old hippies were roadies. No, the old hippies were Steppenwolf. And they were doing their own setup, you know. So I got to meet those guys, and we didn't jam together. I didn't get to play with them or anything like that, but we did hang out backstage while the other bands were playing. That's when I found out who they were. I was like, holy shit.
Hi, we're Steppenwolf. Oh, no shit. I'll be damned.
Who are you guys with? Steppenwolf? And I went, what? Yeah, Black Oak, Arkansas was there too. Not a lot of people remember them, but
yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, they were there. And we're a metal band and they're rock bands.
Yeah.
So we had to meet backstage and go, all right, we got to kind of cull our set a little bit.
We're going to tone this down some.
Yeah. So we went with like some Black Crowes and Driving and Crying and cover stuff because we didn't have any originals that were just rock and roll, you know. So yeah, we had to go out and do a bunch of damn covers. And we did
out there and just melted faces. Fuck it.
Well, we did 3 of our originals. We just didn't do the whole set.
Yeah.
But we also did do Magic Carpet Ride. Steppenwolf guys were on the off stage going, yeah, man.
That'd be awesome.
The grave continues.
Yep. That would be an awesome evening. Yeah, we played
It was fun.
a few festivals. I was in a band when I was like 20, and it was right on the verge, as the kids say, a cut hair away from getting signed, and two of the guys didn't want to do it because one guy had a corporate job that he'd just gotten, and he was like, the 9-to-5 gig is finally paying dividends. I'm going to stay here. And the other dude just had a kid, and he's like, I can't really afford to go on tour right now.
Right.
And we told the record label, we were all like, it's all of us or none of us, man. You know, we're in this together. And then like,
all right, bye.
Yeah. And then it was about a month or two later, me and my buddy that were ready to go for it. We were just sitting around drinking, and we were like, you know what? I bet you if we would have asked, the label would have replaced those fucks.
Yeah. We got Yoko also. My wife and the drummer's wife conspired to derail the band we had that was on the verge of getting signed. Same reasons. Drummer was also a chef. And I'm not talking about a cook. He was a chef. And he got a big gig, and his wife said, no, you're not going on tour. You're not going to do this, that, and the other, because blah, blah, blah. And then my wife chimed in on that shit too, and that derailed us. And then my wife's whole thing, and she's an ex now, by the way.
That's why.
Yeah, we're a family. We're this. We got to focus on the family. And then she turned around and started fronting her own band. The bitch, because she's a great singer. And she's not a bitch anymore. I shouldn't say that. We're good friends to this day. All because of her new husband. I call him my husband-in-law. He straightened her up.
Squared that shit away.
He did. But yeah, she was a great singer. My lead guitar player went and played for her, and then I taught her how to play bass, and he was good enough to play some of their songs because they didn't do metal; they just did, like they covered some of the Monkees, but jazzed it up a little bit. They were kind of they wanted to be Jane's Addiction, not Metallica.
Yeah. Jane's Addiction is pretty good stuff. I liked them when I was growing up.
Yeah, they're all right. You ever notice the difference between, not the difference, the similarities between the Mountain Song by them and Tesla's Hang Tough? Has the same opening.
No, I haven't, but
exact bass line for both.
Makes sense.
Go look it up right now, chat. It's the Mountain Song by Jane's Addiction and Hang Tough by Tesla. Same opening.
There's this Machine Head song, and there's this starts out. It starts out. Which is the exact opening of this song by Strapping Young Lad called Love.
Okay, all right.
And everyone was like, what's wrong with you guys? Can't you write your own fucking lyric or your own riffs?
I'm going to look up and see which one of these came out first. All right, let's see. Publication date. Tesla's Hang Tough. April of 89.
Okay.
So remember that. Mountain Song by Jane's Addiction. April of 2009. No, that's re-release.
Yeah, I would say, wow,
that's a re-release. Let's see when. December of 88. So they came out within months of each other. That's a trip, though. If you ever hear them, they are, I don't mean they resemble each other.
Yeah.
It's like the same bass player wrote both songs for both bands. It's a trip. You don't often hear things that close. But, when the first band I was in, I wrote a song called September Rain. And then November Rain came out. And it was the same theme. It wasn't the same, but it was the same theme.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of similarities in the lyrics. And I'm like, all right, that's just one of those weird circumstances, I guess. Because there's no way anybody out in LA knew what I was doing over here on the East Coast.
Yeah, for sure. It's just
and nobody, had I recorded that song, nobody would believe it wasn't a rip. Oh, lost him again. Good morning, Lou. Wen, thank you. I like my fedora very much.
God damn, I can't be trusted with nothing. Here we go.
If you want to pop in, there's the link in the chat.
All right, bring this up.
Bringing it up. What do we got?
See if I can get this. Can you see that?
Uh-huh.
All right, take a listen to this.
Okay. You got to turn your volume up a little bit.
All right. Hold on.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Now. Tell me that is not straight ripped off.
All right, do the same thing for me. Pull up your YouTube again, and let's do the Mountain Song by Jane's Addiction, and share it. And you guys check this out and tell me this ain't the same. There you go. Crank it. Oh, no audio.
You can hear it?
Nope, no audio.
Oh, I don't think I shared my audio.
Yep, try again.
Hold on. Let me bring up a new thing and bring it over to a different window. So I'm not sharing it in my StreamYards. Share screen, entire screen, this screen, share system audio.
There you
Loop.
go. All right.
I wonder why it keeps doing that.
I don't know.
Bringing it over to. It don't matter. We can do it like this, anyways.
I have faith in you. You've got it. All right, here we go. All right, now stop that. Now put Hang Tough Tesla. There you go.
Yeah, it's just slowed down a little bit.
By the way, fantastic band, Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, buddy.
That was just Jane's Addiction just slowed it down a half step or so.
Yeah, but it's exactly the same notes. Exactly the same. By the way, Tesla is undoubtedly one of my favorite bands of all time, but they didn't have the staying power.
No, not at all. I don't know if it was like infighting with the band.
Something happened.
Or what, but
yeah, something happened, shut them down. I don't know what I don't understand what happens to bands that are fantastic. Like Queensryche imploded
Queensrÿche was fantastic. That band was fucking just amazing.
It was lightning in a bottle, once in a lifetime band. And then personalities, man, they hated each other. How can that happen? You know, I don't get it. You know,
I mean, everybody starts out in a band and they're all buddies and everything's all good, and then just eventually everyone turns into a jaded fucking cop, I guess.
Yeah. Supposedly, Jeff Tate spit in the face of one of them in a fight. And like, okay, yeah, I would leave a band or somebody. Yeah, I'd beat somebody's ass that did that.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, that's grounds for divorce in a band. I'm just saying. But, geez, man, couldn't you have not done that?
Yeah, exactly.
Kept putting out great albums, because we've only got 3 really good albums from him. One that's head and shoulders above anything.
Empire.
Operation
Mindcrime. Yeah, Operation Mindcrime. Yeah.
Empire was good. Empire was really good.
Operation Mindcrime was better than Empire, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. Operation Mindcrime, in my thinking, is one of the only albums I would call perfect. The Eagles have done some perfect stuff.
I love watching the Eagles play. I can't remember the guitarist's name off the top of my head. What's his fucking name?
Life's been good to me so far. What is his name? I'll look it up real quick.
But
Joe Walsh,
yeah. But he like sits there and you can see him on stage and he's like talking to his guitar as he's playing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, the hell are you doing?
Oh, Lou says, check this out. Red Hot Chili Peppers, By the Way, and Hell is for Heroes, Slow Sing. Well, let's check that out too.
Hold
Can
on.
you pull that up, Max?
Yep. Give me a second.
So the band is Hell is for Heroes and the song is Slow Sing. All right.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Slow Song is the title. Okay. I got you, Lou.
Standing in line to see the show tonight.
All right, and I don't want to get you hammered.
Hell is for Heroes, Slow Song. Yep. All of that feels so 90s, man.
Yep.
All of that has that 90s. We don't know what we are kind of feel to it. They don't know if they're rock and roll or folk.
I was listening to Alice in Chains again a couple days ago. That band put out some fantastic fucking albums too.
Look, they were a great band, and we were going to cover Man in the Box.
Mm-hmm.
And the singer belts out Jesus Christ, deny your maker, and the whole band just stopped because we're all Christian.
Yeah.
And went, wait, what does that say? Like, yeah, we're not doing that song. We saw what happened to Def Leppard. We don't want that. Def Leppard had that synth voice that said Jesus of Nazareth burn in hell. The drummer loses his arm, the guitar player dies. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Soundgarden, they put out some good stuff.
Yeah, they did. But, again, that it was Chris Cornell and who else?
Chris
Eddie
Cornell
Vedder,
made that band.
Eddie Vedder, that particular style of voice.
Yeah, that twangy.
I used to call it
almost country.
Yeah, much sounding. My son.
I'm the man in the box.
Yeah. My son still sings that way when he records, and I can't blame him. He grew up on that stuff.
Yeah, it works too. It's still it's coming back. That vocal style's coming back.
I just miss in my day. The aspiration was to be a Dio or a Steve Harris or a Jeff Tate on vocals. It was to be a Randy Rhoads on guitar, melodic and beautiful and fast and intricate. Bass players, you wanted big, powerful bass players like Steve Harris. And then we got away from that. It was like, yeah, we don't want to show off. So you got Nirvana, you know.
Yeah, well, everyone when I was growing up wanted to be like Bruce Dickinson or Rob Halford.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you wanted. You wanted those soaring vocals, big, powerful voices. Hell, I remember the first time I heard Sebastian Bach sing Wasted Time. I think the dude breathes twice the whole song. I mean, he can just hold a note for days.
Sebastian Bach was a pretty good musician, actually. I mean,
singer, but he drank himself out of fame.
Yeah,
that's another one that self-destructed. Warren, Janie Lane, Dornell, drugs, and you wouldn't think it when you looked at those guys. You thought these guys are preppies that just grew their hair out.
Yeah,
you know, because I wasn't a big fan of Warren, but they undeniably did some good songs. I just wasn't a fan.
Cherry Pie was okay, but other than that, I didn't really like many of the Warren songs.
I liked I Saw Red was good. What's the one? Lucy Don't Think She's Pretty No More. Sometimes She Cries.
Yeah.
Another good song. Told a good story. Machine Head used to be amazing. Strapping Young Lad or Devin Townsend are still amazing. Yeah.
Devin Townsend is fucking badass.
Yeah.
That's like saying Dave Lombardo's okay, or what's his name? The fucking Mike. The guy from God, he's been in a million bands, but
it's not a good resume, dude.
No, I mean, like he does it. He does all these other projects all by himself. But I mean, he was damn. What's the name of that band? It's it. What is it? It's it. What is it?
Oh, that's Faith No More.
Yeah, Faith No More. So who's the singer for that band? It's something. Mike Patton.
Yep.
Yeah, Mike Patton. But he was in Dead Cross. He was in what's his first band? That band was pretty good.
I don't know, but that brought me back to Dream Theater.
Dream Theater. Yep, that was. I used to listen to Dream Theater all the time.
Pull Me Under.
Room with the Brew. Room with the View.
Yeah. Pull Me Under was just an amazing freaking song. But what was Faith No More? What is it? They had the goldfish dying at the end of it. The freaking out.
Yeah. The exploding piano.
Yeah. That was a good song, great video. Lou says Mike Patton was also in Mr. Bungle, and he did.
That's it, Mr. Bungle. That was the first band that he was in. Was Mr. Bungle.
Lou is an old musician too. He knows his stuff too. I think I'm older generation. Epic was the song title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm going to listen to that when I get off stream. Bat and Tesla Hang Tough. That song is way better than it got credit for. If you go back and listen to it. Good stuff. And speaking of ending, it's been an hour and almost a half, so I'm going to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for helping me wake up and get my day going. Max, thanks for coming to hang out.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Before you came on, I was sharing that I had reached out to you when I realized I had left a giant plot hole in my story. I panic called you late at night.
Yeah.
I plugged it though. I plugged the hole.
Yeah, there was. I can't remember the plot hole. I was watching a movie with this girl a couple of days ago, and she discovered a huge plot hole in something. I can't remember if it was. I think it was. Damn, what's the name of that song? I can't remember shit this morning. CRS all morning.
Well, Well, I mean, do you remember the one that they identified in the Big Bang Theory about Raiders of the Lost Ark?
How he has no fucking...
He has no impact on the story whatsoever.
Yep.
No. And when you think about it, it's like, fuck. She was right.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
Yeah, everything would have turned out the same. All right, but anyway, I'm gonna wrap this thing up, Max. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Gary, Billy Power, Max, Black Hat. Good to see you guys. Peace out, everybody.